This is the 5-Minute Youth Devotional Reading with Alex Sarria.
March 13. For good and for bad. 2 Corinthians 7:3. I'm not saying this to condemn you. I said before that you are in our hearts, and we live or die together with you. I've been teaching for decades, and almost always the same expressions are repeated. If students pass the exam, they say with enthusiasm, "I passed." If they fail, "They failed me." It seems to me that it is an attitude that extends to almost every facet of life. We think that successes are due to our abilities and failures to others or to external conditions. However, that's not reality. We have a lot of influence from others in our best moments, and there's a lot of us in the mistakes. For this and for other reasons, Jesus created the church as a place where we all support everyone to have more possibilities for growth and maturity. He gave us diverse gifts and talents so that we might be complementary, and that where one does not reach, the other could. He allowed us to live in a positive atmosphere generated by love, so that we could feel that we do not need to be alone or stressed. He created a network of bonds from heart to heart, linked by trust. I'm fascinated by Paul's expression because it strengthens the idea that we have our people in our hearts for life and for death, for good and for bad, to share successes and overcome failures. All this together, his verse enlightens us about what it is to grow and understand reality from the scope of the community. Understanding this involves much more than knowing. It implies recognition. We know quite a bit about the lives of many people. Sometimes we even share too much of that knowledge. However, do we recognize them sufficiently? When we have done well, do we approach certain people to thank them for what they've done for that result to occur? Do we approach others when something has not gone as we had hoped to apologize because their expectations have not been met? We don't recognize enough that outlines a distorted reality in us. I propose an exercise for the whole day. Take note of those situations that you consider important in the course of the day. At night, in your final reflections, evaluate those situations. Analyze who led to their being positive, and keep that in mind to thank these individuals. Also, analyze the adverse situations and see what you've done, what you have to modify to make things better in the future. I want you to know one thing. I don't know you too well, but I already carry you in my heart, for good and for bad. Of course, I hope that it will be more of the former. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If this was helpful for you, please share it with a friend. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Always remember this: walking with God is the greatest thing you could ever do. You are His priority. Make Him yours, and you will always live out your purpose. God bless.